Hello guys, welcome to another awesome section of Learning with Prep Class. I am Tutor Chima. In today's section, we are going to be looking at WAEC biology for the year 2018. Now in the previous section, we looked at questions number 11 to 15. So today we are going to be looking at questions 16 to 20. If you've not seen the previous video, please I urge you to go through our channels and see them. We have lots of educational content that will really help you, especially those of you that are preparing for WAEC JAM. We have solved so many questions on our past questions of several years on physics, chemistry, biology. Please just go through our contents in our channels. They are free. You don't need to pay. Just gain free lectures of solved past questions, the best you can have so far. Now, today we'll be looking at questions, like I said, 16 to 20. But before we do that, guys, do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos. You can be kind enough to share our videos so that it will reach as much viewers as possible. Now, if you look below there too, you will see a notification bell. We want you to click that notification bell and activate it. Once your notification bell is activated, you will be the first to be notified whenever we have an educational content like this. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy today's section. Now let's move. Question 16 says, the amination of amino acids in the liver produces A, blood sugar, C, glycogen, glycogen, C, bile, D, urea. What does deamination of amino acid produce? Deamination is a process by which the liver breaks down excess amino acids and converts them into urea, which is then excreted by the kidney. So since deamination is a process of breaking down amino acids to urea by the liver, that urea is now excreted by the kidney. So that simply means that deamination of amino acids in the liver produces what? Urea. So the correct answer to the question is what? Urea. Very simple. 17. Which of the following glands also serves as an exocrine gland? Which of the following glands also serve as an exocrine gland? So that means that all these glands are endocrine glands. Ovary, pancreas, adrenal, thyroid, they are all endocrine glands. But which one can also act as an exocrine gland? Let us look at it too. Now, endocrine glands are ductless glands. That is, they produce chemical substances that we call hormones. These hormones are usually carried and released into the blood. They are released into the blood and they are carried by the blood to target cells. That's what example of hormones include insulin, thyroid stimulating hormone, thyroxine, adrenaline. So they are all produced by the what? Endocrine glands. So those glands that specifically produce hormones are an endocrine glands. They are ductless. They don't produce these hormones through ducts. They just release it from their surface into the bloodstream. The hormones is now carried by the blood to target organs where they exhibit their effect. Now, exocrine glands, on the other hand, are glands that produces fluids or juices via ducts to target areas. Now, these juices can be enzymes, dilute salt solutions, or other fluids. Example of exocrine gland is salivary gland that secretes saliva into the mouth, tear gland that secretes tears into the eyes. They are all examples of exocrine gland. So now, which of these ones that they mentioned behave both as an endocrine gland, a ductless gland, and an exocrine gland, one that has ducts? Now the answer is the pancreas. The pancreas is an endocrine gland. It produces the hormone insulin. It is also an exocrine gland because it produces digestive juices that contains enzymes. So the pancreas produces digestive juices through the pancreatic duct and release these digestive juices through the pancreatic duct into the duodenum. These digestive juices are of three types: trypsin that digests protein, amylase that digests carbohydrates, and lipase that acts on lipids. So the correct answer there is the pancreas. The pancreas acts both as an endocrine gland and as an exocrine gland. I believe you understand that, right? Okay, so the correct answer is pancreas. Pancreas. 18. Which of the following sequences is the correct route of the transmission of impulses along a reflex arc? Excuse me. Which of the following sequences is the correct route of the transmission of impulses along a reflex arc? Is it option A, receptor, sensory neuron, then to synapse, intermediate neuron, then to synapse, then to motor neuron? Is it option B, receptor to motor neuron to synapse, blah blah? Is it option C, effector to intermediate neuron, then to synapse, then to motor neuron, then to synapse, then to sensory neuron? Or is it option D, effector to motor neuron, then to synapse, to sensory neuron? Okay, now look at how this is being done. First of all, from a receptor organ, sensory neuron sends electric impulses to a relay neuron. Example of a receptor organ is organ of the eyes or the nose. So that's why we call these organs sense organs. Every sense organs contain a receptor organ, eyes, nose, tongue, and the rest. So each of these receptor organ, there's a neuron that is being connected to them. So the neuron that is connected to this sense organ via the sensory receptor is called a sensory neuron. So from a receptor organ, sensory neuron sends electrical impulses to relay neuron, which is located in the spinal cord of the central nervous system. The relay neurons connect sensory neurons to motor neurons, that is, they are called intermediate neurons. Now the motor neurons now send electrical impulses to an effector. The effector produces a response. Example, muscle contract. For example, what I'm trying to say is, if I should point a bright torch in your eyes in the dark room, what happens? Sensory receptors in your eyes, which are located in the optic nerve, pick up this stimuli and conduct them from that optic nerve into from that sensory, yes, another optic nerve into a sensory neuron. Sensory neuron now takes it to a intermediate neuron that now carries it. Sensory neuron now takes it straight to the spinal cord, then to the central nervous system that does the brain via an intermediate neuron. Those intermediate neurons are located in the spinal cord and the brain. So the intermediate neuron now sends back the message through a motor neuron straight to an effector that brings about response. And what's the response? The response is that you blink your eye to prevent the excess light entering into your eyes. So therefore, the correct route is from a sensory receptor to a sensory neuron, then synapse, then to an intermediate neuron, then to a synapse, then to a motor neuron, then to an effector that brings about the response. So the correct answer is option A. Do you understand that? All right. 19. When viewing an object that is close to the human eye, the eye lens becomes thin. C, the ciliary muscles relax. That's A. I don't know, I'm always calling C after A. A, the eye lens becomes thin. B, the ciliary muscles relax. C, the suspensory ligaments become taut. D, the eye lens becomes fat. So which one is the correct answer? Now, I said that our eyes can see nearby and far away objects clearly. This is because we can, okay, I didn't, I wrote this, so this is because we can, oh, sorry, that's a typo. Now, eye lens can see nearby and far away objects clearly. This is because we can change the shape of the eye lens and so alter its focal length appropriately to form a clear image of the object on the retina. This ability is known as accommodation of the eyes. When we view objects that are close to the eyes, the ring muscles of the ciliary body contract. This slackens the suspensory ligaments, causing the eye lens to become shorter and thicker, that's better, so that light rays are bent more, enabling them to focus on the retina. I didn't do something here. I was supposed to bring the diagram of the eyes to show you all those parts. So we have the ability to see near and far objects clearly, and this is because we can alter the focal length of the lens of our eyes, enabling us to see far and nearby objects clearly. If you want to see a close object, the focal length, the ciliary muscles will slack, So the ciliary muscles will contract, causing the suspensory ligament to slack. It will make the eye lens to become thick or broader or fatter so that I can see nearby objects. If you want to see far away objects, the ciliary muscles will contract and pull the suspensory ligament, causing the eye lens to become long and thin so you can see far away objects. So when you want to see close object, what happens? The eye lens becomes shorter and thicker. So that's the correct answer. So the correct answer is to question number 19 is option D. Eye lens becomes fatter. 20. The diagram below is an illustration of the human sperm. Study it and answer questions 20 and 21, but we'll be using it to answer only question 20. The part labeled I is the acrosome, is it the nucleus, is it the mitochondria, is it the tail? The part labeled I. Okay? Now the part labeled I is the acrosome. The part label 2 is the tail. I just label them acrosome and tail. Those are the only two parts they ask us to label, so no need of disturbing ourselves. So the part label I is the acrosome. So the correct answer is the word acrosome. Acrosome is the correct answer. Alright guys, we've come to the end of today's section of Learning with Prep class. We'll look at past questions on biology WAEC rather. For the year 2018, we solved questions 16 to 20. I believe you did enjoy today's section. Now, if you look below here, you see we've dropped a link. We want you to type this link on your browser and load it. Once you type this link on your browser and load it, to take you to our WhatsApp group. When you join us on our WhatsApp group, you're getting updates, you're getting infos on the latest content we have on our channel. I hope you see the next video. Bye and do stay safe.